Depot is the one exception that I made to my no big box store resolution. Oh, it's pretty rough in here though. Huh. I don't know about that. Pretty bright. I think we'll just go for the same old thing. $10. So, you know, people think that I made this New Year's resolution not to shop at big box retail out of some like moral, you know, rectitude sort of reason. Like I don't want to support, you know, the capitalists, blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with that. It's that I hate people. I can't stand them. And they don't, like, so I'm buying my freaking bird feeder, right? And I'm on the bird feeder aisle. And I realized my shoe was untied. So I bend down to tie my shoe. And all of a sudden, this lady comes out of nowhere and bumps into me with her shopping cart. And like, I know I'm wearing camo, but you know, I'm a big dude. Like, there was no reason she couldn't have seen me. And so I just didn't do anything. I just kept tying my shoe, waiting for her to say, excuse me, and she didn't. And so then I picked up my bird feeder and I said, excuse me, and she didn't even look at me. So like, you just bumped into me with a shopping cart. How do you not say excuse me? So there is a little bit of like, you know, anti-consumption, that sort of thing. Like I worked in retail. I don't want to support retail as it is. I'm fine with, you know, I don't like people losing their jobs, but I'm fine with our economy and our society moving away from the giant big box retail model, which I think is very clearly what we're doing. I'm cool with that, right? Because I don't think it fosters any kind of community. I don't think it, you know, I don't go to Home Depot to make friends. And I'd rather just buy my products online from Amazon, give them the jobs, give them the money. They're local somewhere, you know, and of course there's all the stuff in the news about Amazon treating their employees horribly, but I mean, it's not like Home Depot employees are really all that happy. I don't see a lot of smiling faces in the Home Depot checkout line. But you know, the point is, it's not like niche retail. It's not like going to the fly shop where I can talk to some guy about, you know, what bullshit opinion he's got about what flies catch fish for 2 hours, and then, you know, buy something from him and he's gonna get direct commission on that. It's not like that anymore. That's not what retail is about anymore, and so I'm just done with it. Kiddo needs a new set of drumsticks. I worked in a music store for 10 years. I know about drumsticks, and I know that Kiddo needs a $3 pair of drumsticks. He doesn't need any, you know, it doesn't need Vic Firth or anything like that. And but I didn't want to go to the music store that I worked in because, you know, sometimes it's nice to go see a different place. And so I took him to 2 different music stores yesterday. No one said hello to us in either the quote-unquote local music store that I went to or Guitar Center. And Guitar Center, you know, whatever. It's clearly a big box store, and I mostly took him there so that he could beat on stuff and I wouldn't have to care. You know, you go to a local music store and your kid starts beating on the drum heads, and you know, you need to care. You need to, you know, but at Guitar Center, so what? Point being, I felt so unwelcome, or not unwelcome, but just like no one cared. I'm gonna go to the store that I worked in because I know that people care about me there, and I'd rather give them the money. I guess I could get some on Amazon, but you know, when you've got a good local store, that's a good thing to support. And so I'm not saying I don't want to buy local. But I'm also saying I don't want to buy local just because it's local. Like, there's plenty of local places that still suck. This is more rain coming in. The same thing, I see the same thing in brick and mortar tobacco stores. That, you know, yeah, it's hard to compete with the big online guys, and I understand that, and that's sad. But at the same time, be nice to me. Just be nice to me. That's all you got to do to earn my business. And, you know, they can't for some reason. And I don't think it's necessarily a retail thing. I think it's just in our society, we've stopped wanting to be nice to people. We've stopped wanting to help people. And we no longer want help from other people. We no longer depend on each other for help. So I'm done. And, you know, my brick and mortar tobacco store is great. And I will still shop from them. But I also have no problem shopping online because guess what? Smoking Pipes is nice to me. I think they actually want my business. Yeah, this is a big storm coming in. I gotta get this errand done. You guys remember me ranting a few months ago about the guy that lane split me going to the post office? The same thing just happened in the exact same spot. Different kind of car, but it was still a murdered out. It was a murdered out truck instead of a murdered out Accord. And what is wrong with people? Can't go fishing this weekend because everything is at flood stage. It's weighing on me a little bit. When I can't go fishing, I'm forced to find something else to do with myself. And so I start doing things that I've been putting off. Work things, tasks around the house, buying new bird feeders to take to the bothy. And that's when you run into people. That's when you gotta ask yourself what it is you're doing out here. Yesterday there was a shooting in Texas, high school, 10 dead. Took the shooter into custody because he didn't have the balls to kill himself. There was also a shooting in Georgia. And there was probably, actually, when you think about it, a shooting in every state, but we only care about the big ones now. I'm in a bad mood, as you can probably... Well, this makes things a little better. Hey, buddy. I'm not going to bother you. I just want to take your picture. How you doing? Good day to be out on a walk, right? I like your shell. You got some nice patterns there. Can I get you out of my way, or should I just step over you? I should just step over you. So, I've got a lot of new subscribers, a lot of people that are new to the channel, and that's good. That's good. It means that the rest of you are going to have to go through some little bit of redundancy when we do flashbacks, like we're getting ready to do now. I'm on medication, and I'm currently backing down that medication because I don't like it. But I'm on medication to deal with my OCD and my anxiety. And it mostly became a problem when I was locked in my house for, 18 months, when my kid was home from the hospital. He first came home from the hospital, and we had to be super careful about not getting him sick. So we didn't really go out much for the first year that he was home, and the isolation drove me crazy. And things are improving now. Not nearly as isolated. I'm, much better, so I'm slowly backing down on the medication because though I'm really grateful for it, it has side effects, and I don't like the way that I feel. I don't know. I feel regulated, and you know us crazy people, we don't like to be regulated. So backing down on the medication. So that's one reason that I'm in a bad mood right now. I'm just really irritable, and not being able to fish makes that a little bit tougher, but it also kind of exposes the fact that I fish too much. I talked about this recently, where I don't know if it's passion or addiction. Am I fishing so much just to try to stay away from the stuff that bothers me? All you see from me is fishing videos. You get the same kind of forced positivity that I have bugs on my face. I had a bug on my face, and I just made this long rant, and it was this little, anyway. You get the same kind of forced positivity that you do with the bigger YouTube channel, where everything is always good, always having fun, always catching big fish. I don't like that. And we do the, Every week we do the Sunday antisocial hour, and I talk about how I don't like people, but that's mostly joking. Like, you know, it's joking to sort of hide the fact that I just don't know how to live in the world anymore. I swear, everything else can be at flood stage. Bothy Creek is pretty much normal. There's some footprints that aren't mine. I took the trail cam down because every time I put it up, I'd get pictures of people, and I felt like I was invading their privacy. I don't want to be that weird guy that takes pictures of people in the woods, you know. But I do miss having the trail cam up here. Maybe I'll try to find a better spot for it soon. I haven't been up here lately because I've been fishing so much. The hell is that? Oh, it's a balloon. Okay. Alright, we'll pack that out later. Or not, that's not the first balloon that I found out here. I wonder if this is like a weird Bermuda Triangle for helium balloons. Anyway, looks like the bothy's still there. Looks like the skull is still there. Everything is as it should be. Starting to hear more thunder though. Either that or it's the growling stomach of a saber-toothed log pooper. So I think we better get this done, go home and toss some flies. Alright, here's the old one that I discovered broken with the boy. And there's a new one. There's the box. Doesn't look like it's been moved since the last time. Come and get it, birds. Got the old one and the balloon. You know, I take the kiddo to a preschool thing, a little play group, and it's put on by the public schools. And it's total shit. I mean, it's really not. I think it's a worthwhile endeavor, but compared to the way they advertised it, total shit. There's no. We wanted to take him to it because they promised to teach him to socialize with other kids, and so we go and sit on the floor. He sits in my lap. All the other parents are sitting around us with their kids in their lap. And then the teacher holds up letters and counts for half an hour, and we all go home. There's no interaction with the other kids at all, which is disappointing, but we go because it seems like a good idea to expose him to, you know, the fact that there is a place called a school where you go and you sit while people talk at you. But it's looking more and more likely we'll be able to send him to a private preschool in the fall, which is amazing. It's great, and we're very blessed and privileged to be able to do that because, you know, we're getting family money to do it. Can't afford to do it ourselves. But you know, Typing Piper said it best. He asked me if we were going to send him to cannon fodder school. That's kind of how I feel about it. Somebody's coming, got to go by. All right, I got up here off the trail. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's banging on something. But you know, you got to learn at some point that there are other people in the world, and they have structures for the way they do things, even if you don't like it. And I think for me, looking back on my education, the entire point of it was that I don't need that education. Like, you have to get educated to learn that you don't give a shit about how people want you to do things. Man, I really am in a bad mood, huh? The sky is starting to brighten up. It's getting a lot warmer. I think the most miserable physical sensation in the world, other than, like, you know, excruciating pain, but yeah, one of the most miserable sensations is having to climb up a hill through thick brush when it's really hot and humid and the trees are all wet. Said I was gonna come get this thing in May, and it's May, but man, still a lot of dirt and maggots and stuff on it. I meant next May, 2019. All right, thanks for listening to me bitch and moan and voice my concerns about, you know, mass shootings and stuff. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.